Now we have somebody who wants Pakistan to become a cyber power. So, and that somebody is the chief of KPK IT board from chief cybersecurity from KPK IT board, Dr. Rafiu Shan. And the topic is making Pakistan a cyber power. So, please join your hands together, and I can assure you this is going to be a very good presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Asif Saab. Thank you, Faisal Saab, for providing me opportunity to share what I randomly think and say it aloud as well. I'm Rafiu Shan. I'm basically heading one of the centers in KP, which looks into cybersecurity domain. Vision was the same as it should be basically built up as a provincial cybersecurity center and provide the required capacity at the provincial level, and then we can scale it up to other provinces and the federal, and so on and so forth. We were able to put some lot of things together on the KP landscape in terms of information security policy and a lot of other measures in terms of human capacity building, technology, and others. But still, I think there's a huge gap which we need to cover. So today, I think I was just going through random articles recently, and there was a very exciting report on National Cyber Power Index. It was a very exciting report published by one of the elite research think tank in US by Harvard. And they have indexed the countries on their cyber capabilities and the single question they wanted to answer is, what is the most powerful, cyber powerful nation in the world? And obviously Pakistan is nowhere in the index, and then what I did is basically use the same parameters and try to analyze where the Pakistan is and what is the roadmap for Pakistan for way forward. So let's see what is power in fact. There are a lot of definitions if you go into theory, because the variety of definitions are used in the social sciences. If you see the marketing and a lot of other aspects, they use different contexts of the power. But one of the definitions which sums up everything is basically the influence, the action, something you have to influence the actions, belief, conduct, behavior of individual, a society, or a nation, in fact. We have seen a lot of manifestation. I mean, there are a lot of other marketing tools, or other social engineering tools, or social frameworks which basically build up on the same model as the power. So relating to that, defining power and looking at the cyber power, there's a gap in between, and I think what I could basically bridge up with that power is there are a lot of factors which influence or basically contribute to the power if you look into the international landscape. One is the economy, of course, the most important one, military, technology, innovation, culture, diplomatic and soft power and influence. The red ones are one which are closely related to the cyber context. Obviously, military and culture cannot be ignored, but the red ones are more inclined towards the cyber index and bias. I mean, culture is as exciting as the influences. For example, British has ruled the world for like over 1 or 2 centuries, in fact. So their impact and influence in terms of culture is their language, their lifestyle. I mean, we have the club culture, we have the hoteling culture, and a lot of other cultures which were basically coming down from that colonial or British era to the countries, in fact. So the culture is one of, so that's, if you relate it with the cyber index or the cyber power, there has to be a cyber culture as well. Yeah, so if we see nuclear power as a capacity of a nation, and there are like established couple of nuclear powers in the world. We can just count them in 7 or 8 based on what kind of a data we look into. It's something which is more than enough and act as a deterrence, okay? And it is something which nations want to have at any cost. One of the reports which the Brookings Institute published was there was like around a $10 trillion investment by one single country to not only have that capacity, but to maintain and upgrade that capacity over a couple of decades. So this shows as one of the benchmarks into the defensive and offensive capacities of the nation, that how they can operate, how can they influence that power, that they can operate that power across the world landscape. If you see the latest military drive, the next generation military hardware, we have the drones, missiles, air dominance, and what they have all in common is basically the technology support. That's number one. They're lethal, they impact at the very hard core of the country's backbone, they're remotely controlled, and they're street. Right? So these are the powers, these are basically the parameters, the most, the recent conflicts have seen the countries to basically exercise those powers. And of course, Pakistan being the nuclear state as well, and I'm not going through the journey which we spent in last couple of decades to achieve that nuclear capability, and then this remote operations capability as well. This is from the CIS slides, which basically sums up our remote operation capability, in fact. So looking at the cyber power, how cyber power relates with this, the physical, military-related traditional powers is in fact, it has everything all these powers have. It has the ability to operate remotely. It is stealth. It is untraceable. Most of the cases, no one really claims that I have done that, and the country who has been under the attack has can deny that we have been attacked. For example, in terms of Iran, they had the attack, it was established, but there was no official recognition of that attack from the Iranian side, and there was no official acceptance of that attack. We have seen that in case of Estonia, because that was kind of obvious that who have done that. There was an escalation before that, but we have seen the impact of that cyber attack as well. So the power of exercise of power in the cyber domain is basically sums up a lot of those parameters which the nuclear domain and the modern military hardware gadgetry has. That's a remoteness, and rather it has some more parameters. In fact, जिस तरह से साइबर के डोमेन में एक नॉन रिप्रोडेशन का इनफैक्ट का जो एलिमेंट है उसको भी समहाउ एनोनिमिटी से हम कवर कर सकते हैं. So these are some of the buzzwords which are related to the cyber power which we have seen. So it is a deterrence as close to nuclear weapons as soft, right? Stealth, untraceable, digital dominance, and then this is a very most dangerous part to it, that is the proxies. In the physical military kind of power, proxies are somewhat hard to conceal. We have seen a lot of examples in the region, in the Middle East and all across the world. But in the cyber world, proxies do exist, they operate, but the cyber powers who operate those proxies has the ability to control them remotely. And then there's a technology war on the top of that. That is obvious in there, right? So, and there are some other benefits, are some other dimensions to the cyber power as well. If we compare that with the nuclear power or the modern hardware gadgetry, military gadgetry, there is no regulatory regime across the world के कितनी power किसी के पास होगी और वो transfer करेगा या नहीं करेगा. There is no CTBT kind of a thing. There is no NPT kind of a thing. There is no non-proliferation agreements between the nations के who can exercise the cyber power, and to what extent कि वो उसका सिर्फ डैम को मफलूज करना है या मेरे बैंकिंग पे कोई अटैक नहीं करेगा. There's no sort of an agreement. It's an open, unregulated territory where the nations, states, openly and covertly operate, and most importantly, the proxies, the organized cyber criminals operate on the indexed web domains and non-indexed dark web as well. Limitations for obtaining cyber power is lack of available data, कि किसके पास कितनी capacity है और क्या कुछ कर सकता है. Proxies is the main challenge for the countries. In fact, we all do a lot of cyber-related initiatives to counter those, because our banking sector might not have explicitly called threat from another bank from US or from a nation state, but it is always through the proxies, through organized groups on the indexed and non-indexed web domains. और इसको अगर हम रोल आउट करते भी हैं, उसको इसको अटेन करते भी हैं, तो देर इज़ नो काइंड ऑफ अ कंक्रीट मेजरमेंट के व्हाट इज़ एनफ. फॉर एग्जांपल, to exercise your nuclear power, you need to have some tests done, and you need to showcase some muscles, and same is the modern gadgetry, military gadgetry where case में भी आप थोड़े से muscles flex करते हैं, and you show that this is what we can do. But in cyber domain, it's kind of very oversimplified area. And it captures the duality, जिस तरह से डॉक्टर शुएब ने कहा कि offensive plus defensive. So it's complex to mention कि कितना offensive होगा, कितना defensive होगा, तो then you are good cyber power nation. So this is what that Harvard report did, is basically measured the cyber power into two different contexts. One is the intent, and other is the capacity. So intent is basically the pursuit, to pursue multiple national objectives using cyber means. It could, and the national objectives, I'm just trying to list down in the next slide. And the capacity is the essential capabilities to pursue and achieve the mentioned objectives. So these are the two areas कि कितना intent है किसी मुल्क का और कितनी capacity है. और इन्हीं दो पैरामीटर्स की बेस पे व्हाट द हार्वर्ड थिंक टैंक डिड इज़ कि उन्होंने कुछ 57 के अराउंड पैरामीटर्स डिवाइस किए, एंड आई विल ट्राई टू टेक यू थ्रू सम ऑफ दोज पैरामीटर्स. उन 57 पैरामीटर्स में से उन्होंने ट्राई टू लिस्ट डाउन कि किस मुल्क की कितना इंटेंट है और कितनी उसकी कैपेसिटी है टू डिलीवर दैट इंटेंट. Just another definition is the measurement of quantitative and qualitative initiatives, चाहे वो नेशनल लेवल पे हो, गवर्नमेंट लेवल पे हो, प्राइवेट लेवल पे हो, टू डिलीवर या टू कंसीव दोज नेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव, चाहे वो नेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव फाइनेंस का है, इकोनॉमी का है, टेक्नोलॉजी डोमिनेंस का है या सोशल है. एंड द कैपेसिटी इज अ मेजरमेंट ऑफ क्वांटिटेटिव एंड क्वालिटेटिव ऑफ कंट्रीज आउटपुट टू डिलीवर अगेंस्ट दोज स्टेटेड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. एंड व्हाट आर दोज ऑब्जेक्टिव्स? दे आर द सर्विलेंस, डिफेंस, कंट्रोल, इंटेलिजेंस, इकोनॉमी, offense, and norms, in fact. And norms cover like the standards and a lot of other regulatory frameworks. Offense basically covers destroying or disabling an adversary's infrastructure and capabilities. Offensive हो, covertly हो, through proxies हो या किसी भी means के through हो. Commercial and economic gain, जिससे पिछली स्लाइड में जमाल ने कहा कि आई थिंक सम अदर स्पीकर वाज मेंशनिंग कि चाइना इज़ यूजिंग, उसको एक्यूज़ किया जाता है कि जी उन्होंने उसके आईपीज़ को किया, they have been using cyber means to get those IPs on their side. But I think this is I totally don't agree with this argument. What US has been successfully done in last decade or so is कि उन्होंने साइबर के डोमेन में रादर के अगर आप स्नोडन के बुक को सामने रखें या उसके रेवलेशंस को सामने रखें, तो it was America are the Western companies who have been harvesting the citizens' data through different means. लेकिन जो narrative they were successfully trying to establish on the digital landscape was it was Russia who was doing this espionage, is the Chinese who is doing the espionage. So this जो ये Chinese या different countries पे रखा जाता है कि जी they have been very very active in espionage. Yes, they were doing it, but not on the scale which Americans या American companies have been doing it. So yes, that is one of the national objective as well. Okay, how much capacity? Number one, sorry, how much intent, and then you have the capacity to deliver on those intelligence based on national objectives. Okay, if we want to have some IPs of a software or hardware, or could be a military hardware, or could be other hardware as well. अब जैसा टेक्नोलॉजी वार को देखा जाए तो उसके जो कोर पे एक्यूजेशन है वो भी यही है कि द Chinese based companies are basically harvesting the traffic data and a lot of other data, and they are kind of doing the intelligence thing covertly. But the same has been done by those companies for a couple of decades now. So yes, so these are the 7 different areas जिसके बीच में ये रखा गया. Okay. सो NCPI ने 30 मुल्कों को कैटेगराइज किया. इससे पहले ITU का GCI चलता था जिसमें पाकिस्तान वाज ऑन 94th नंबर. You can just follow this report, and this is a very exciting report. Elaborate है. You can see the parameters. It has like approximately 57 parameters. ITU का जो index है, it has only 25 parameters. और उसके different indicators भी different हैं. और but NCPI में there's only 30 countries. Pakistan is not one of them, but I try to cover it in my presentation. इसका जो competitive comparison है, it covers a lot more in depth than other parameters. List of countries which based on different contexts कि cyber power nation कौन है, based on NCPI is US, China, number 10th is Australia, और ITU के context से different ranking है. ये उनकी different जो domains हैं उनकी capacity है. Now this is something very exciting. So these are the countries. On one side are low capacity, high intent. That's where Pakistan basically lies. We really want to do too much from the technology, but we don't have the capacity. And there are countries who have the high capacity and high intent, for example, China, US, UK, and others. And there are countries with the high capacity, but they don't want to do anything with the cyber much. For example, Singapore, they're in the top 5 in the cyber index ranking, but they don't have any intent to disrupt any of the any country in the cyber domain. And there are countries with a low capacity and low intent. Interestingly, they have placed India into it, but I don't think so. India is there. Right. So there are 2 underlying parameters into this national cyber power index. One is the cyber capability index, which basically covers everything which has been discussed today in this hall. For example, how many companies in top 500 that country has, how many internet users that country has, how many top 5, how many websites that country has in top 100 websites in the world, how many the workforce HCI that country has across the world, उसके कितने technology driven solutions दुनिया में चल रहे हैं. राइट उसकी IPOs कितने हैं. अगर वो पिछली डिस्कशन के साथ मैं लिंक करूं तो अगर हम देखें कि जितने पैटेंट इस वक्त चाइनीज़ कंपनी फाइल कर रही है, अगर वो उतना ही चोरी कर रहे होते तो फिर US पैटेंट उनको रिकग्नाइज ना कर रहा होता. सो दैट इज़ काउंटर नरेटिव विच US हैज़ बीन पुशिंग कि जी एस्पेनार्ड्स वो कर रहे हैं, हालांकि इज़ अदरवाइज. So this cyber capability index basically covers approximately 27 parameters, जिसमें सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि आपकी strategy हो, जिसमें आपकी policy हो, जिसमें आपका national body हो. It's basically summing up every technology landscape, how much commitment that nation has on the technology, number one, and the cyber initiatives as well. So it covers basically everything which you think of under those 27 parameters. So that defines the capacity. And then there's come the intent. So intent के अंदर 7 major areas हैं जिसके अंदर बाकी 32 parameters को divide किया गया. For the simplicity, I've just mentioned 7 of them. कि सर्वेलेंस की इंटेंट कितनी है किसी मुल्क की, डिफेंस की इंटेंट कितनी है इन द साइबर डोमेन, कंट्रोल की इंटेंट कितनी है, इंटेलिजेंस की इंटेंट कितनी है, सो सेम एज द कॉमर्स ऑफेंसेस एंड नॉर्म्स. सो दीज आर द 7 मेन एरियाज जिसके अंदर इंटेंट को क्लासिफाई किया गया. सो वेयर डू वी स्टैंड? सो दैट वाज काइंड ऑफ अ rush over that 180 pages of the report. So where we stand? We stand somewhere between Iran and New Zealand on the low capacity, high intent area. हमारा शायद इंटेंट भी इतना हाई नहीं है कि उसको हम थोड़ा सा ऊपर रैंक करेंगे. दैट वाज माय ओन फाइंडिंग बिकॉज पाकिस्तान वाज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन दैट लिस्ट बिकॉज आई कुडंट फाइंड एनी एविडेंस और रिसर्च डेटा जिसकी बेस पे हार्वर्ड के रिसर्च सेंटर ने रेट किया था. तो आई ट्राई टू डू, उनके कुछ 200 सवाल थे, आई ट्राई टू डू आंसर दोज 200 क्वेश्चंस बेस्ड ऑन माय नॉलेज एंड बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट द डेटा कुड गैदर एंड ट्राई टू प्लेस वेयर पाकिस्तान इज प्लेस. सो दैट्स वेयर पाकिस्तान, I could fit in Pakistan somewhere between Iran and New Zealand. Yeah. So that's a horror story. That's where we stand right now. We are 148 out of 176 in ICT index, e-government index, not so good. Network readiness index, not so good. Global cybersecurity index in 2018 report, not so good. I mean, that's where we are. And the good thing is, isse niche kuch hai hi nahi. So only way is up. Right, so that's the only positive side of it. So anything we contribute would basically take us up. The first thing, I agree with Jawad Saab, the first thing we need to fix is the tone at the top. Without that, nothing is possible. If we can deliver a successful nuclear program covertly, despite all the hardships in 2 decades, we can deliver a good a stable cyber power in less than that time, because we have much more than what it requires to do that. But if we look into the mindset of the top regime in 70s and 80s, they were like aggressively pushing कि यार हम घास खा लेंगे लेकिन हम ये काम ज़रूर करेंगे. Do we have the same commitment for the cyber? Let alone cyber. Just I was going through the technology funding, IT related ICT funding by the government of Pakistan for last 5 years, for KP, for Punjab, and for federal, and all the projects which जो PSDB Planning Commission fund करता है, जो हमारी एवरेज जो पीक एलोकेशन बनती है वो 0.04 बनती है ऑफ द टोटल नेशनल GDP. So how we can expect industry to deliver, a sector to deliver with this kind of allocation, right? See the capacity. We are the 5th most populous nation in the world. इस वक्त जो digital skills में gaps हैं, they're like humongous. If we can just complement those gaps, और सबसे बड़ा जो gap है इस वक्त 4 million unfilled jobs हैं cyber security में. Right? If we just focus on this vertical only, बाकी अगर हम भूल भी जाएं तो see how much potential we have, and we have like 220 million people, right? That's, अगर हमारी सिर्फ youth की bulge को देखा जाए तो वो UK और France की population को किससे ज़्यादा बनती है, right? So how to use that potential in our favor is a biggest challenge, and that can only, हम बात कर सकते हैं कि capacity programs करें जी, HEC करें, universities करें, R&D करें. Everything will work, but nothing will work if we can have the tone at the top fixed. And that tone on the top fixed means like all the stakeholders. I mean, there were a lot of discussion on policy and strategy and a lot of related laws as well. And nothing we couldn't deliver in last couple of decades. We have to be open about it, because जब तक हम problems को accept नहीं करेंगे, उसको discuss नहीं करेंगे, we cannot move towards the solutions. The reason is we couldn't bring all the stakeholders around a single table. So that's the core issue, and that is because the tone on top is not fixed. If the tone on top is right, फिर कौन नहीं आएगा टेबल पे बैठने के लिए? Even it's a private sector, is a public sector, या कोई भी, right? So I think that's the need to be fixed, and that will basically tear down to the governance model. Governance models fix होगा. If we want to be cyber power in the next decade, because the challenges are too much. I mean, I'm a true believer and advocate for the data colonization, that the companies who are basically harvesting citizens' data based on, I mean, companies like the technology companies based not in Pakistan, right? So they will be the ones in 2030 or decade after, they will be the one who will be controlling the narrative in the society. Right? They will be the one who will be basically dictating your policies and strategies based on their requirements. So the strength we have is we have the 5th most populous country in the world. We can use it to our advantage if we have the right mix of the policies and strategies, and the investments. Obviously, if you pitch to me, if I'm a CEO of a big tech company, maybe a Google or something like that, if you कि आप अपने data center पाकिस्तान में लेके आए, तो I'll ask you questions कि यार आपके अपने कितने data center कितने standards पे चल रहे हैं? Do you have a required workforce? Do you have आपकी electricity का क्या हाल है और बाकी infrastructure का क्या हाल है? So these are the questions which I need to ask, in fact. So have we fixed those things? And I think there's one concept which is under review in the government. Government is a spatial technology zones, which can deliver quite a lot on this initiative. कि ये sum up कर देगा उन सारी चीज़ों को एक ऐसा एरिया डिजिग्नेट कर दें जहाँ पे आप प्रोविजन करें कि सारी चीज़ें अवेलेबल हों. सो आई थिंक दिस सेकंड लिस्ट फॉर मी टू फिनिश इट ऑफ, सो आई जस्ट क्विकली फिनिश इट. सो going through a lot of other challenges, I think the most important challenge is tone at the top, in fact. So there are a lot of other aspects. Fixing media. Media means like having the access to the technology, in fact. So that's a dual meaning. Content creation and then the regulation to some extent. R&D, indigenous product localization. So these are the areas we need to look into, and I think we have the right mix, as I mentioned before, to be kind of a potential cyber power, or at least in the top 10, 20 countries in the next decade. Thank you so much.